afternoon. At this time, I ask our guests to please make their way to their seats. We will begin our ceremony in approximately 5 minutes. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It is a pleasure to be here with you all to commemorate the completion of Monarch Hall, U.S. Customs and Border Protection's newest advanced training center facility. My name is Dina Cooper. It is my privilege to be your MC for today's ceremony. I would now like to welcome our distinguished guests. First, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Honorable Kristi Noem. Commissioner, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Rodney Scott. Senator from the state of West Virginia, the Honorable Shelley Moore Capito. U.S. Representative of West Virginia's 2nd Congressional District, the Honorable Riley Moore. I also thank my esteemed colleagues from the Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and our partners at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for being here today. It is a privilege to celebrate this milestone with you. Ribbon-cutting ceremonies have been used to mark progress and new beginnings. During the early parts of the modern age, the practice brought communities together to highlight the completion of critical infrastructure and the opening of new businesses and buildings. They have been used to signify the culmination of a project from its inception and vision through development and finally completion. About 20 years ago, we held a ribbon-cutting ceremony to open the Advanced Training Center here in Jefferson County, West Virginia, as the first of its kind facility to prepare our law enforcement officers for the varied challenges their frontline duties bring them. It was a vision that came to fruition through close collaboration with our partners in Congress, with multidisciplinary teams to design and construct the campus facilities, and our local community here in Harpers Ferry, who helped us to ensure this center would be a beneficial addition to the beautiful and historic area. We are very grateful to have the continued support of Congress, especially that of Senator Capito and Representative Moore, and the surrounding community throughout the years. The Advanced Training Center has truly found a home in Jefferson County. Our goal has largely remained the same since we initially began the design and development of the Advanced Training Center: to deliver mission-specific training to our workforce to meet emerging Homeland Security challenges at and beyond our borders. Today's ceremony underscores our ongoing commitment to this goal and our dedication to ensuring this campus remains a state-of-the-art training center for U.S. Customs and Border Protection's law enforcement personnel and our leadership team. The building we are looking at now is the conclusion of a 5-year interagency and inter-industry effort to plan, design, and develop Monarch Hall. At 32,300 square feet, this 2-story building includes multi-purpose classrooms, collaboration rooms, office space for staff members, and a state-of-the-art green screen room. This newest addition to the Advanced Training Center will provide critical features to enhance the Office of Training and Development's work in fulfilling its mission and meeting the rapidly evolving training demands of our agency. We would not be standing here without the support of Congress, especially that of Senator Capito, who helped to secure the generous funding for the building we are dedicating today. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge Office of Facilities and Asset Management Assistant Commissioner Yvonne Medina and Office of Training and Development Assistant Commissioner Chris Hall. Their joint leadership, coupled with the extraordinary efforts of their respective teams, helped bring forth the facility you see today. Finally, I'd like to recognize the collaboration with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and Lobar Incorporated. We are grateful for their professionalism and commitment to helping us achieve this milestone in a timely manner and within budget. We are thankful for these combined efforts of all who have been involved in the project from inception to completion. Before we hear from our speakers, I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the presentation of colors from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Honor Guard and the singing of the National Anthem by Ron Madison, Office of Facilities and Asset Management.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
High uniform personnel. Order. Move. Ready. Wait. Quick. March.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation by Chaplain Patrick Orender, Office of Field Operations.
Heavenly Father, source of wisdom, strength, we gather here with this grateful heart to dedicate Monarch Hall. Thank you for this vision and commitment that brought this center to life. Please empower our workforce. We are especially grateful for the steadfast support of the senior leaders of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The dedication, guidance, and investment have made this milestone possible to continue to shape the future of our mission. Bless all who will teach, work, and learn here. May they be equipped with the knowledge, the skills, and the character to serve and protect our homeland with excellence and integrity. We ask that you bring the blessing upon West Virginia and the surrounding communities, faithful neighbors who support and strengthen our mission. Guide our leaders, Secretary Gnome, Commissioner Scott, Senator Capito, and Representative Moore, and all present today. Grant them unity, wisdom, and resolve in their service. May this hall stand as a beacon of purpose, inspiring dedication to our safeguarding of our nation. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Orender. Ladies and gentlemen, you may take your seats. Since becoming the 8th Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, our first speaker, the Honorable Kristi Noem, has been an unwavering champion of our agency's important border security mission and of our dedicated workforce who serve and protect the American people. We are very grateful to have Secretary Noem's leadership in all we do at U.S. Customs and Border Protection. We are especially honored to have her join us today for this momentous occasion. And now I ask you to all help me welcome to the stage Secretary Gnome. Well, thank you. Good afternoon. I believe it's afternoon now, but it's so wonderful to see all of you and to be here for such a celebration as this. This is really a monumental event, and not just for CBP, but also for Harpers Ferry, but also for our country. And so I want to thank you for taking the time to be here for this ribbon cutting and to recognize all that it took to get to this point. I do want to give a special thank you out to our Assistant Commissioner Cooper for having me here, for the invitation and for the hospitality as well. This is going to be my first opportunity to take a tour of Monarch Hall, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this center can bring in advanced training and technologies to each and every single one of the people that joined to serve the public and the people of the United States. I also want to thank Senator Moore Capito. I call her Shelley because she's been a friend of mine for many years, and I want you all to know that I believe she's going to go down in history as one of the most effective senators that this country has ever seen. She has been so incredibly powerful in her advocacy for things that truly do matter. Would you please give her a round of applause? She doesn't just advocate for funding for this campus when she talks about Harpers Ferry and what this training center means. For years now, she has championed bringing the dollars that are necessary here to get this hall built. In fact, I think her alone, in her role on the Appropriations Committee, but also in the Senate and to members of Congress, have secured over $32 million to complete this hall. But when she does that, she tells the story. She tells the story of the men and women that will be here, that will train here, what it means for our country, what it means for our security and the ability of our families to be able to sleep and raise their children at night in a country where they're safe and where they can still pursue the American dream. I've been a long believer in the old proverb that says, what you see with your eyes, you carry in your heart. And I know that she does when she talks about this place, when she talks about West Virginia, and when she talks about what CBP means to this country as well. And also I want to thank Congressman Moore. I don't know of anybody else who got elected and hit the ground running harder and faster than he did. He works tirelessly not only for his congressional district, but also to make the House of Representatives a much more effective body. At days it can be challenging, I'm certain, which I'm grateful you're close enough to home. You can come home and detox once in a while. But I will tell you that when he stands up in a room and he speaks, people stop and they listen. And that rarely happens with members of Congress. When other colleagues are gathered together to learn about the facts behind a project or want to know for certain what truly is the situation that this policy will bring forth in this country, when Congressman Moore speaks, his colleagues listen to him, and he speaks with wisdom and discernment. So I want to thank both of them for being advocates of this facility and advocates of CBP and the work that they do every single day. There's a few other people that I do want to acknowledge. We have the opportunity to have Commissioner Rodney Scott with us today. I don't know if this is his first official event since being confirmed as the new commissioner of CBP, but if you would all congratulate him with me, I'm so thrilled at his new leadership role. It is not necessarily all that fun to go through a Senate confirmation hearing, but he did it, and he did it with grace. And I want you all to know that when I look at leadership here in this component, in this department, under the Department of Homeland Security, I turn to Rodney for leadership, and I turn to him to mentor other agencies. He is often someone who can speak with wisdom to somebody else that may not even be in CBP, may be in a completely different department, such as USCIS or ICE or in FLETC, and he can give them wisdom and advice that helps them be more effective in the jobs that they have. So I am very grateful to have him willing to come back out of retirement, kind of, and hit the ground running and be ready to lead. But we do have somebody that is retiring, and that has been the acting commissioner, Pete Flores, and I do want to acknowledge him. I have never met someone who has served with such a steadfast consistency and care for the post at which he is responsible for than Pete. I haven't known him that long. I first met him when I was nominated for this position, but have gotten to spend hundreds of hours with him, and no matter what I said or did or decided, he looked at me and said,
yes, ma'am, and this information might be helpful to you, and educated me and helped us make the best decision for our country. I've appreciated him more than probably he'll ever know. But if you do get the chance to spend some time with him, let him know how highly I think of him. We are grateful for his leadership. Also, thank you to Acting Deputy Executive Assistant Commissioner Cheryl Davies and Assistant Commissioner for Training and Development, Christopher Hall. And they have been absolutely fantastic for what they have done to lead our team and to commit to overtime. We all know that the last several years have been challenging, and with the change in administration comes many changes, but with those changes also comes a lot more work and a lot more time and dedication to get people back to securing the border to what President Trump has promised the American people, and back to doing the jobs that they needed to do in order to ensure we did that very quickly. They have put in overtime, and that has been absolutely fantastic to see their commitment. I also want to say thank you to the Advanced Training Center and Interim Director, Christopher Line, who has been amazing for the dedication of running the day-to-day operations of this center and the expansion, which continues to grow, and more people which will be inspired to come and to learn here and to serve here and to train here. I have long believed that when you invest in things, you show that you truly do care about them. For years and years, I was a children's pastor at our church. And when I first became our children's pastor, I also was farming and ranching and doing other businesses. But I remember having a conversation with our pastor one day saying it's really hard for me to hear people say that children are a priority when we don't put any dollars into the program. Where you invest your dollars is truly where your future is. And I believe that with this investment, now our church did, and he did, and it was fantastic. But what I would say is that when you see people invest and build, they're saying that they're investing in the people that will train here. And we face new challenges every single day in this country, new challenges that our agents and our individuals will have to be prepared for. And I believe that they will be prepared for them because of what we're doing here to make sure that we're resourcing and equipping them the way that we should. We have a critical mission, and I'm committed to making sure that we fulfill that mission and that we do it to the best of our abilities. Facilities like this provide the training that are necessary. I was raised by a dad that said consistently to me, Kristi, we don't complain about things, we fix them. And that is what we are doing today. We see challenges ahead in this country, new threats emerging everywhere, but we don't complain about them. We fix them, and how do we fix them? We fix them with men and women who love the United States of America, and we have trained and resourced and equipped them to meet those challenges head on. Now, we do have a bill that's coming before Congress I hope everybody will support that will be a necessary resource for CBP. That bill doesn't just have dollars in it to build a wall, which it will. It'll have over $46 billion in it, not just to continue building infrastructure wall, but to give us the surveillance and technology that we need to truly secure the border and every border, not just our southern, but our northern, our maritime borders as well. It also will provide $4.1 billion so that we can hire 5,000 new CBP officers as well as 3,000 new CBP border agents. It also gives us $2.7 billion to CBP so that we can have the surveillance technologies that we need, and another $1 billion for our vehicle fleet. It allows ICE to hire 10,000 new officers, which we cooperate every single day to secure our country. And it will also allow us to double our detention capabilities that may be necessary as we do our work. It also will address salary and bonuses, which I think is incredibly important. When you make sure that we take care of our people that work for us, we're taking care of their families. I don't know of anybody that can do their job with excellence if their family is in crisis at home. And that's the one thing that I want everyone who works with CBP to know, is that we've got your back, but we care about your family, and we care about your family's futures as well. One thing that I want to leave you all with today is to never lose sight of our priorities, of what our mission is. Our mission at the Department of Homeland Security is to secure the homeland with honesty, with integrity, and to do that in a way that best represents the United States of America. CBP has done that with excellence. They have done their job and overachieved anything to which I could have thought was possible in such a short period of time. This training center is going to allow us to do even more far into the future. So thank you for wrapping your arms around this facility and the people that will train here. Thank you to the chaplain for praying over this building and the people that will train here, that God's hand and that this hedge of protection will be over them. And I'm so honored that you invited me to be with you today to celebrate this. This is a special day, and it's a special day not just for CBP, but for our country. May God continue to bless you, and may God continue to bless this great country, the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Noem. It is truly a privilege to have you with us today. As our agency's senior career official who supervises our daily operations, Commissioner Rodney Scott guides the everyday work we do to defend our nation, including oversight of capital projects like Monarch Hall. At this time, I invite Commissioner Scott to the stage. Sir, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. I'm going to keep my remarks a little bit short, but I really do want to thank Secretary Noem for being here. Thank you for the support you've given us from day one and your investment, not just of time here, but time with the leadership teams. But your attendance here today means a lot to us and greatly appreciate it. Senator, I can't thank you enough. Congressman, I can't thank you enough for the support that you've given beyond this facility. But specifically today, I do want to focus on Monarch Hall and Advanced Training Center. But I think it's important to understand that we would not exist without Senator Capito's support, not just financially through appropriations, but the conversations behind the scenes, learning about our organization. I'm in a unique position. This is my first event, by the way. I'm in a unique position coming up through the organization where I got to see the senator come out in the field when I was a sector chief, and she just wanted to learn. I want to thank you for that, because that is really getting to know what's behind the curtain is the important part. There was prepared remarks for me up here, and I'm probably going to blow them off. That's kind of the way I usually do things. Because as I was listening and I was walking around, even talking to some people coming in here, I want you to know how important this facility is. Not just Monarch Hall. We're here to do a ribbon cutting on Monarch Hall, but can't even say it. Monarch Hall is just one more spoke in this wheel that CBP has of investing in its people, investing in its culture, so that we can provide America the best border security we possibly can, effectiveness and efficiency-wise. And I'm a product of ATC. So I kind of want to focus on that, I think, today a little bit. And I'm going to apologize for all the people that wrote my notes. I'm going to blow them off. But I want you to know that all the success in me becoming commissioner really does come back to this. But it's not, when you say ATC or Monarch Hall, it seems so singular. And I think we forget, because I had a list of people I'm supposed to thank here, and I'm going to highlight a couple of them. But for every name on this piece of paper in front of me, I've learned from being in this organization for years, there's countless people behind that individual that did the real work. As the commissioner, I'm going to get a lot of credit and a lot of criticism for a lot of things that other people do. But I'm proud to do that because I love this organization. I actually was willing to come back because a lot of what happened here at ATC. So let me give you a little behind the curtain. So for those of you that forgot, U.S. Customs and Border Protection was born out of the ashes of 9/11, and some agencies were shoved together that didn't necessarily want to be together at that point in time. Advanced training, not the academy, is what fixed that and made CBP an actual culture, a family, and an organization. And it was intentional decisions by leadership that came before me that said, hey, to be what America wants us to be, what America needs us to be, we need to be one. So basically, ATC was the place where CBP, where Legacy Border Patrol, Immigration, Customs, Ag, kind of got pushed together, and it was a safe space to have some tough conversations. Some fireside chats with some leadership that was outside of your chain of command and couldn't necessarily discipline you immediately. Freed up some opportunities. But I want to thank the leaders that came before us, and I really want to thank the leaders that are sitting here in front of you. I want to thank Chris. I want to thank facilities. I want to thank Army Corps of Engineers for the tactical piece of it. Council. I don't think there's anybody in CBP that hasn't benefited from and or invested in ATC. But it's not just about, giving our current leadership, a weekend away to like brainstorm. It literally has a direct impact on operations. So I'm going to highlight that for just a minute, and then I'll probably shut up. If you look at what this organization has done, and I don't mean to get political here, I just want you to think about this realistically. If you look at what this organization has done to secure the border since January 20th in a record amount of time, that had a lot to do with presidential policy and knowing you had top cover. But what it really had to do, like I talked about that cascading effect, right, was an organization that had literally been taught to not accept failure. And that's really what happened here at ATC. Different parts of the organization came together, but the culture in CBP, because of the investments we've made here, because of the investments you guys have made, because of your leadership, is an organization that while I was a policy advisor, while I was the chief of the Border Patrol, or now as commissioner, brings me a little synopsis of a problem that they discovered and the solution. And it's already moving forward. If I want to change it, I can, but it doesn't wait for other people to tell them what to do. Everybody in this organization has foundational principles of vigilance, service to their country, and integrity that we beat into them from day one. We beat into them here at ATC. And I think that just creates a culture that every American will be proud of. I'm very proud of what you guys do here. I just want to say thank you, and I'll close with that. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Scott. Our next speaker is the Honorable Shelley Moore Capito, U.S. Senator from West Virginia. Senator Capito, a West Virginian through and through, has had a distinguished career of promoting excellence in West Virginia, be it through higher education or in the public sector. As former chairwoman and ranking member, and now current majority member of the Senate Homeland Security Appropriations Subcommittee, we appreciate Senator Capito's commitment to understanding what we do along the U.S. border and beyond, and for supporting our mission. We are again very thankful to have her help in securing the funding for this project when she was chairwoman. Without further ado, let's welcome Senator Capito.
Well, thank you very much for the warm introduction, and I am so happy to have the Cabinet Secretary here, who I call Kristi, because we served together for 4 years and we've known each other. She's an excellent governor in her home state of South Dakota, and just a really warm, as you can tell, very warm and dedicated and great family person as well. So it was fun for us to fly out and do some catching up to do. Rodney I met out in California when he was the sector chief out there, and I cannot tell you how excited I was when I saw that he was going to be the nominee for this position. He knows that. I was going to ask you, when did you start your training? 1992. Things have changed since 1992. And think about it. He's seen probably a lot of different things. So he knows, I think there's nothing better than a person to lead an organization that knows the organization, knows what it's like to be that first trainee when you're first trying to get your feet wet, knows what it means to be probably assigned to a place you really don't want to go. How do you explain to your family, but also the different problems that are coming across the desk or out in the field. So, Rodney, congratulations on your nomination. You're right, confirmation's not easy to go through, but you have a great mentor here. She's just terrific. Great to be here with Congressman Riley Moore, who is my nephew. And so I was thinking about all the people that I've known so long. I've probably known him, I definitely have known him longer than anybody else. 1980, July 1st, yes. He's first grandchild in our family, so it was a big joyous day. But I'm so proud of what he's doing here. He lives right here in Harpers Ferry, which really makes a difference. But Riley's, as the Secretary said, he's a star and he's going to do well. We're both on appropriations, which is kind of a nice tag team situation in terms of being in the Senate, being in the House, so we have constant communication as well. I will bring back to Senator Katie Britt, who chairs that committee. She said, thanks a lot for leaving that. I went to a very non-controversial committee to chair, Health, Education, and Labor. Woo, I might come back to Homeland Security. Yeah, Homeland Security is looking maybe a little bit easier now. But anyway, this facility is fantastic. We've been out here more than a few times. We brought a staff retreat out here several years ago so we could see really on the ground what occurs at this facility. And as a West Virginian, my frame of reference, different than these guys, is that West Virginia frame of reference. It's great to have everybody have a touch of West Virginia when they come here, but it's the economic opportunity that the center brings to this region of West Virginia. Many of the folks who teach here and work here are now native West Virginians and live here. And so for us, this is just an incredible facility to watch it grow. And the Monarch Hall is, I was trying to think, is the Monarch butterfly our state butterfly? I think it is. It is. All right. I didn't win the Golden Horseshoe contest, but that's our West Virginia history contest. But anyway, I thought that's our state butterfly. I don't know. Does South Dakota have a state butterfly?
They migrate through South Dakota.
Okay, there we go. There we go. That's how we got it. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm really proud. When I think about what's coming across the border, I mean, really, I can't say enough praise for President Trump and the Secretary and what they've been able to accomplish in the last 5 or 6 months. It takes a will, an incredible will, a steel will, to move forward in an aggressive manner, to be able to make the changes as much as they can without Congress acting, to be able to really change the face of particularly the southern border. Our state of West Virginia is particularly affected by the fentanyl that comes over and across the border. We know our fellow West Virginians, we've lost too many to the scourge of fentanyl. Family members, church members, neighbors. It knows no boundaries, no economic boundaries. Nobody. I can tell you, my daughter went to high school in Charleston. She's lost probably 15 people. She's 39 right now. 15 people in and around her age group, either a year above her, her year, or the year below, in that one single high school to the overdose of fentanyl. I mean, that's just unbelievable. It's horrifying. So that is a challenge that we want to make sure that the Border Patrol is ready to meet the challenge. The technology is evolving huge here. And lastly, I'll say this. I'm getting a lot of kudos for bringing $32 million, which is pretty good. Senator Byrd would be very happy with that. But you have to remember, this is our money coming back to us. This is not my money, or honestly, don't tell President Trump, it's not the president's money. It is our money coming back to where our priorities are. As the Secretary said, we set our priorities, and that reflects who we are. And so to have the training that we have here, to be able to have so many people touch West Virginia and be a part of West Virginia and always have a bit of West Virginia left in their heart, no matter where they go across this country, is a great thing for somebody who is a native West Virginian and loves it like we all love our home states. So thank you so much for coming out today. It's been remarkable that you would take the time. I was kind of fully waiting for her to cancel because of all of the other things that are going on. But I will see the best decision, besides the Secretary coming here, is whoever made the decision to not have this outside. Now, that shows you how smart everybody is here at the training center, because off that pavement, it'd be over 100 degrees probably. Anyway, I'm so proud of everybody. Thank you, and let's keep up the good work and make sure that we do as we want, and that's securing our borders and making sure that we can have that American way of life that we all love and cherish. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Senator Capito. Our next guest is one of the newest members of Congress who represents West Virginia's 2nd Congressional District, the Honorable Riley Moore. So far during his tenure in the U.S. House of Representatives, Congressman Moore has worked tirelessly to further our nation's border security objectives. We appreciate his ongoing collaboration to keep America safe and his commitment to the President's objectives of keeping our borders secure and strong. We look forward to growing in our partnership with you, especially as the representative of this congressional district. Thank you for joining us today. And now, please help me welcome Congressman Riley Moore.
Thank you very much. Feels like I was just here because I just was. I got to put on glasses. My aunt makes fun of me because I'm getting old. I got to wear glasses now. It's the way of the world. But no, it's great to be here. And Senator Capito was just touching on the effects of the border in West Virginia before I get into my prepared remarks. This is just last May, 2 miles from here, an illegal immigrant killed somebody in our community and burned her body. Just 2 miles from right here. in West Virginia. It's really hard to believe, so it feels like every state is a border state, to be honest with you, with the effects that it's having on everybody. But on that somber note, I do want to say it's a pleasure to be back here at the CBP Advanced Training Center, to be part of Monarch Hall. That is kind of a tongue twister. Monarch Hall ribbon cutting. This new facility is crucial to expanding the good work of the CBP that's been ongoing here in West Virginia. I'd like to also start by thanking the hardworking men and women of Customs and Border Protection who work with little recognition sometimes. Certainly from my office they get that, but sometimes in the public they do not, and they very much deserve it for keeping our nation safe. So thank you all very much. I also want to extend my gratitude to Senator Capito, Aunt Shelley, who has used her position on the Appropriations Committee to secure this funding for this great facility that we have here. And I'm so proud to be the only freshman member of the House Appropriations Committee. And I look forward to working with the Senator and you all here at the Advanced Training Center to further expand and continue the mission. I'm also grateful, so grateful, for Secretary Noem for being in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Thank you so very much. I live 5 minutes from here. Somebody told me last month, Secretary of Homeland Security is going to be 5 minutes from my house. I wouldn't believe it. But here you are. So thank you so much for being here today and your unwavering support for law enforcement, particularly CBP and the Advanced Training Center here in Harpers Ferry. The previous administration, though, certainly had no hesitation leaving the border wide open for the last 4 years and throwing our brave CBP officers and agents under the bus. Simply put, they just didn't let them do their jobs. And this has had grave consequences. Over those prior 4 years, millions of illegal immigrants poured across our border. This includes tens of thousands of special interest aliens who we know pose a national security threat to our country, including known terrorists that the previous administration gave free rein to cross the border and to disappear into the interior of this country. Last year, the FBI arrested several of these individuals for plotting a terrorist attack. How many are still out there planning those right now, particularly given the recent events in Iran? Well, thank God that we have Secretary Kristi Noem here taking care of these things and keeping us all safe, so thank you for that. But, you know, it turns out that we didn't need legislation to fix any of this. We just needed a new president. That's all we needed to be able to fix this, and a new administration to come in, and a president who would let you folks do what you do best, protect our border and keep Americans safe. As a result, the number of border crossings has cratered to historic lows. It's hard to believe there's hardly anybody trying to cross right now, with just 8,400 encounters in the month of April compared to 129,000 last year in the month of April. It's just astounding. Just 2 weeks ago, I visited this facility, as I mentioned at the outset, with several of my House colleagues. We did bring some other House members out here. While here, I tried the training simulator, which allows instructors to gauge officer and agent responses to lifelike situations without putting anyone in harm's way. You were there for that, so you can attest to this. I did a good job on this. There was a guy coming up with a knife, and there was somebody in the car. I neutralized both these folks in 1.5 seconds with 7 rounds. One of them a headshot through a windshield. That's correct. So we're big Second Amendment supporters in West Virginia. So I'd like to come back out to the gun range whenever you get some time. But it's a great simulator. It was very, very lifelike. And actually, the simulator gun itself had the weight of like a Glock. It felt like an actual handgun and had a bit of recoil and all that, which I found very interesting. So thank you for that again. And I'm also, if you ever need any help out in the field, though, you know, give me a shout. I'll head on down. But I'm also excited to share that I will also be introducing legislation. We talked about this during our brief in the House to realize CBP's goal to swap parcels of land here currently owned by DHS and Interior, and hopefully get those additional 25 acres so we continue to grow this wonderful facility. Allow me to once again express my gratitude for the important work being done here at this facility and for the invitation to address you all today. Thank you so very much, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Moore. And thank you to all of our distinguished guests for being with us today. I now ask Assistant Commissioner Yvonne Medina to come forward and present the ceremonial key to Assistant Commissioner Chris Hall. Thank you, AC Medina. AC Hall, Monarch Hall is officially yours. At this time, I ask the representatives from the press.